Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Steve Burton, and I'm the Stranding and Volunteer Coordinator here at Harbor Branch. I've been here for 4.5 years. And at this time, I'd like to thank my coworkers that I work with here as well. Wendy Marks and Amy Brizard are also first responders, and also our consultant veterinarian, David Kilpatrick. It takes a team to do what we do 24/7, 365 days out of the year. All right, we get our funding from two of the specialty license plates, depending on what species of animal we're working with. Obviously, under the dolphin plate, we're mainly responding to bottlenose dolphins, but also spotted dolphins and rough-toothed dolphins as our higher number of stranding animals in our area. We also respond to whales, and that's shocking to people in Florida. They don't actually think we have whales here. However, we do have animals migrating down the East Coast to give birth to their calves and then migrate back up for the summer. So those animals include humpback whales and the endangered right whale. But we also respond to strandings of pilot whales, and our number one strander is pygmy sperm whales, which we actually had two last week, two different events. All right, our stranding department is based on National Marine Fisheries. We have a letter of authorization to go out to do what we do, to handle dolphins and whales. And dolphins and whales are protected by the Marine Mammal Protection Act, and we are a member of the Southeast region, which covers Texas all the way up to North Carolina, and also Puerto Rico. Our home range, as we respond everywhere through Florida when called upon by National Marine Fisheries, but our home range that we're responsible for is in the Indian River Lagoon, from Sebastian Inlet all the way down to St. Lucie Inlet. However, upon National Marine Fisheries request, we will go all the way down into Jupiter there. And with that on the Indian River Lagoon, we also respond to all the animals on the Atlantic coast. So how do we find out about these strandings? Well, the easiest way how we find out about it is either getting a call from National Marine Fisheries, but also from FWC. So if you don't have this FWC phone number in your cell phone, I highly recommend putting it in there so that way you can get help to any marine animal that's in distress. And the other new thing that National Marine Fisheries has implemented this year is a smartphone app. Dolphin and Whale 911. So you take a picture, you can download it, and we'll get help whichever stranding agency is responsible for that area as quick as possible. So when we do get a call from National Marine Fisheries, FWC, or even Harbor Branch Security Department here when somebody calls because they don't know who to call, we will immediately notify National Marine Fisheries and our stranding team, as well as our 30 highly trained volunteers that have gone through many modules of training here at Harbor Branch, including pathology, lab safety, first responder, anything that can assist us right away. And again, these folks are in our community ranging from undergrad students here at FAU all the way to retirees. There's always some way you can help. And again, they'll come out at 11 o'clock at night anytime as well to assist us. All right, some of the types of strandings that we've responded to in the last year is the typical stranded animal, either alive or dead. And in this case, when an animal strands, there's something wrong with it, or it got lost or disorientated. But most of the time, as you know, these animals should be swimming freely, and they've stranded for a reason, so we need to respond to them. Other types of strandings are human interactions, typically crab pots in the Indian River Lagoon, or monofilament line. Or the odd case where an animal swims back during high tide into a creek area, gets stuck when the tide changes, and can't find its way out. So we'd like to report on what we've done the last fiscal year with our specialty license plates. So we broke this down for our responses. We had 6 dolphin responses, 3 false alarms, 2 manatee rescues, 4 dolphin incident reports, and 3 pygmy sperm whales during the time of July of last year through June. And I do need to clarify some stuff on what we were doing. We assist FWC with manatee rescues. The local field station is based in Tequesta, and they take all the way down to Key West on the eastern coast for response. so that because we're nearby, when they have a manatee issue, they will, and they're not in the area, they'll ask for our assistance. So we will help with that, for that. And then also for false alarms, I would rather have somebody call us and say, hey, we have something going on, than not call us. So a typical false alarm in this case for the last year was a dead tarpon, about this big, looked like a dead dolphin down in St. Lucie. We actually had somebody call about a log, thought it was a large whale floating in the surf. Again, it's okay, I'd rather you call than not call. It's interesting what we have on that aspect, but again, please call us. We'll head right out and take a look at what's going on. Now, you may all be aware of reading the paper for the last year. It's nothing to celebrate, but National Marine Fisheries just announced at the beginning of this month that we've been in an unusual mortality event for over a year on the Atlantic seaboard. And as you can see, the normal numbers of strandings over the year should be in the blues. However, we've had a mass die-off of dolphins with morbillivirus suspected in the reds for the last year. And then it's broken down into states. So you can see for the state of Florida during this time period, we should be averaging about, I don't know, about 80 animal strandings for the whole state of Florida. And you can see we're already up into 200 for that past year. So another type of stranding that we do in response, and one of my favorite ones to talk about, is network response. While some of these beach strandings that take all day, we go down, take care of the dead animal or a live animal, bring it in and do necropsies. These take a lot of planning. There's a lot of photo documentation that takes place. We need to document the entanglement on the animal and if it's free swimming. We work in collaboration with our stranding partners in National Marine Fisheries and FWC. We will capture the animal, and you may have seen in previous presentations, with a net, and we'll catch that animal. We'll diagnose the animal, disentangle the animal, and then once the veterinarians give a good bill of health to the animal, we will release it. And that turns into focal follows. We'll check up on that animal to make sure that it's doing okay from its injuries. And then we'll file the proper reports with National Marine Fisheries. Some of the outreach opportunities that we do throughout the state of Florida, one of my favorite ones is the Right Whale Festival, and I won't get into too much on that because Julie Albert will be talking about her group, but we do sponsor that. When we attend that event, we talk about all the whales here in Florida, but mainly the endangered right whale because they are in a critical state and people need to be educated about them. And then the other favorite part of the job is what I was talking about with the network response. These are all animals that we've rescued in the last 4 years within various entanglement issues. And the collaboration between our photo ID department and our response team have seen all these animals within the last 3 months swimming up and down the Indian River Lagoon. So our work does give animals second chances at life. And I wanted to also update you on the pilot whales. You may remember back in September 2012 that we had 22 pilot whales stranded on Avalon Beach. Well, 3 of those animals survived the whole event and the rehab, and they have names now. Their names are Ace, Ava, and Piper. They're growing into juvenile pilot whales, and they live at SeaWorld Orlando. And if you get the chance to attend there, they're in the Blue Horizon show area. And they actually bring them out for a little demo and talk about their stranding and their plight that they went through. All right, current projects that we're working on at this time for this year, and so for next year's symposium, we'll update you on the final here with. But our marine ambulance that we currently have, we've had since 1998. It's done its great job over the last 16 years. And we've been working on a new ambulance that's 20 feet long, can take larger animals. It also comes with a 2-ton crane in the back to help alleviate some of the problems of lifting heavy animals into the back. We've also notified all our stranding partners in Florida that not only this is for Harbor Branch, but this is for all the dolphins throughout the state of Florida that need transporting. So again, we are on call not only for our home range, but throughout when needed. One of the new exciting projects we're currently working on with our HBOI engineering team, specifically Ben Metzger, is designing large whale disentanglement tools. In this case, this is just an adapter. These tools were created by Provincetown Center of Coastal Studies, and I wanted to bring an example of some of the tools up here just to make it more obvious to you. This is a grappling hook used to grab entanglement gear with large whales. So our engineering department here at FAU will be modeling this onto SolidWorks, as you can see from this diagram, so that it's easier for groups approved by PCCS and FWC to design these tools. So that's one of the neat projects that we're working on now. And one of the updates on the pool, one of our current projects. The new life support system was put in during 2009 through 2010, and the PVC pipes that went in attached to an iron cast pipe that went 10 feet through the wall onto other PVC pipe. Unfortunately, this deteriorated. The blueprints show that the original Johnson pool was placed in 1974, so you can see what time is done to the iron. So we've been excavating the area. We replaced that iron cast with scheduled 40 pipe, and our ultimate goal within the next month is have our Stranding pool up and running and looking just as new again. And one of our future projects is our staff has been trained by PCCS and FWC for large whale disentanglement training. We're going to continue to work with those groups and head back up there in April to continue to train on disentangling right whales when the time comes down in our home area here. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, it takes more than one person to do all this work. It's a team effort. It's the first responders, it's the volunteers, it's the Marine Mammal Working Group. We all work together to get this done. There's also 27 other stranding agencies that we work together with to rescue or intervene an animal. So I want to thank all these people here. And most importantly today, I want to thank you, the public, for purchasing a dolphin or whale plate. All of your purchasing for that goes to all this work that we just talked about today. And thank you very much.